Welcome to another edition of Don Hammond's Arlington Weekly News. Once again, I'm doing a variety of different character voices because it's kind of fun. Maybe someone will stop me someday. Here's the lineup for this week. The news, of course, Community Bulletin Board, and 55 Plus News. Then some commentary. That's the show. Now here's the social media reminder. You can watch us on YouTube at Arlington Weekly News and the number 1, also on Facebook, and you can listen on the radio at WERA 96.7 FM. Now, on to the news.
As of Sunday evening, January 24th, reports show the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Arlington had reached 11,149. Regular viewers and listeners will note the continuing increase in our reported case numbers. Here is some earlier information about vaccine rescheduling. Arlington County will be working to reschedule COVID-19 vaccine appointments canceled by Virginia Hospital Center at its community vaccine clinics due to inadequate vaccine availability. Affected individuals include those aged 75 and up who had first doses of the vaccine scheduled after January 26, 2021. Arlington County Board Chair Matt DiFerranti issued the following statement, and we quote, "Arlington County is ready to deliver vaccine as supplies become available from the Virginia Department of Health and will be diligently working to contact affected Arlingtonians in the coming weeks. We also understand the community's frustration and appreciate everyone's patience. We thank our community partners like Virginia Hospital Center and know how critical this vaccine is for the safety and security of our residents." End quote. Individuals who have already received a first dose of the vaccine at the VHC-managed clinic at the Walter Reed Community Center will still receive their second dose as scheduled. Virginia Hospital Center and Arlington County are committed to continuing to work together to ensure efficient distribution of vaccine after this temporary pause of vaccine administration at the VHC clinic. Arlington County residents who receive cancellation notices from VHC will be contacted directly by Arlington County to reschedule as vaccine supply becomes available in the coming weeks. The county is currently vaccinating Phase 1A healthcare workers and initial Phase 1B essential worker groups, law enforcement, fire and hazmat, corrections and shelter workers, child care and pre-K to 12 teachers and staff. Arlington County asks for the community's patience as it works to incorporate the 75-plus group into its plans within the existing vaccine supplies. Additional Phase 1B eligible groups will be invited for vaccination appointments as Arlington County receives additional supply from Virginia. Meanwhile, Arlington Public Schools has asked nearly 6% of all staff who have reported in person for work to stay home temporarily because they have tested positive for COVID-19. Among in-person students, the percentage who have been kept out of school after testing positive is 5%. Arlington Public Schools Superintendent Francisco Duran presented data on those excluded from school based on reported positive tests or contact with positive cases during the school board meeting on the evening of Thursday, January 21st. The new data for the period from November 1st, 2020 to January 21st, 2021 comes after weeks of teachers and staff asking for more transparency regarding coronavirus tests and exclusion rates. According to Mr. Duran, this year's exclusion to date for in-person instruction is the most detailed information we can provide. Meanwhile, a number of Arlington parents and students participated in a public outdoor event organized by Arlington Parents for Education. The group says it will highlight calls from parents, teachers, concerned community members, and, most importantly, they say, students, in support of a safe reopening of Arlington Public Schools. Previously, about 85 cars with more than 100 parents, school staff, and students held a rally to support continued virtual learning. They drove around the Washington Liberty High School parking lot, honked horns, and advocated for improvements to ventilation, vaccinations for staff before their return, transparent infection data from Arlington Public Schools, better accommodations for at-risk staff, outdoor-only lunches, and 100% indoor masking. Here is a later update from Arlington County, which I will read verbatim. Update on vaccine in Arlington. On Saturday, January 23rd, the County Board received a lengthy and detailed update on COVID-19 vaccine distribution in Arlington. We know not everyone has time to watch a weekend board meeting, so here are a few key bits of info. Watch the full segment on the county's YouTube channel. Here are some quotes. I know it's beyond frustrating and downright scary for many of us, including me, about the change and uncertainty in vaccine availability. Dr. Ruben Varghese, Public Health Director. Within a week and a half of entering Phase 1B, the state informed the entire Commonwealth it was shifting to a per capita allocation by health district region. The primary reason for the sudden change was 1. Virginia is only receiving 110,000 doses per week for the whole state, and 2. In a span of just 2 weeks, all of Virginia moved into Phase 1B. Currently, the per capita allocation for Arlington is roughly 2,700 doses per week. Arlington County has the capacity to do at least 1,000 per day, but obviously, without the vaccine, we are unable to do more. Through January 23rd, Arlington County has received 5,100 first doses from Virginia, and as of January 22nd, we have used 4,560 doses, close to 90%, which is what we were aiming for, so we always have supply to start the next week. A little more detail about VHC appointments. Arlington County is working to reschedule COVID-19 vaccine appointments canceled by Virginia Hospital Center. Affected individuals include people 75 years and older who were scheduled to receive their first vaccine dose after January 26, 2021. What to know? Individuals who already got a first dose of the vaccine at the VHC managed clinic at the Walter Reed Community Center will still receive their second dose as scheduled. Residents 75 and up will be contacted directly by Arlington County to reschedule as vaccines become available. The goal is to reschedule the canceled appointments in the order of their original appointments. Arlington asks for the community's patience as it works to incorporate the 75-plus group into its plans within the existing vaccine supplies. They say you can find additional information in Vaccine FAQ under the VHC Vaccine Appointment Cancellations section. Also, first case of B.1.1.7 COVID-19 variant identified in Virginia. The Virginia Department of Health announced that the first case of the SARS-CoV-2 variant B.1.1.7 has been identified in a sample from an adult resident of Northern Virginia with no reported recent travel history. The B.1.1.7 variant, which first emerged in the United Kingdom in late 2020, is associated with increased person-to-person transmission of COVID-19. Viruses change all the time, and we expect to see new strains as the disease spreads, said State Health Commissioner M. Norman Oliver, MD, MA. As our state public health officials closely monitor the emergence of the B.1.1.7 variant in our Commonwealth, it is important that all Virginians continue following mitigation measures. That's the news. Now it's time for Community Bulletin Board, or CBB.
Hi, and welcome to CBB. Boy, after that last batch of news, it's hard to be chipper, but I'll try. Our first activity is for adults. It's a chance to join members of the Northern Virginia Bird Club for an informal walk through Glencarlin Park in search of resident and migratory birds. Experienced and beginning birders are welcomed. Be sure to bring binoculars and field guides if you have them. For information, call 703-228-6535. Registration is required. Register online or call 703-228-4747. That's activity number 622941-C. And it's coming up on Wednesday, February 3rd from 8:30 to 11 o'clock a.m. at Long Branch Nature Center at Glencarlin Park, 625 South Carlin Springs Road. The event is free, and it's recommended for adults age 18 and up. The good news is that, as far as I know, you don't have to be an actual bird. Now, the flip side of the morning bird walk is the doggy date night evening hike. It's a chance for you and your dog to meet other dogs and dog lovers on a nature walk through a park. Dogs must be well-mannered and remain on the leash at all times. I think this is a good policy for the humans as well as the dogs, since they should also be well-mannered and remain on the other end of the leash. Fair is fair. For information, call 703-228-3403. Registration is required. Register online or call 703-228-4747. Activity number is 622841-C. And that's also on Wednesday, February 3rd, from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. at Gulf Branch Nature Center, 3608 North Military Road. The event is free and is also recommended for adults age 18 and up. You don't have to be an actual dog, but you should bring one along or it might be weird. And remember that although the early bird gets the worm, the late doggy gets the bag. Now here's an event for the whole family. It's called Flying Squirrel Lore and More. Flying squirrels are found throughout the wooded neighborhoods of Arlington, but are seldom seen. You can join up to learn about these engaging nocturnal acrobats. Everyone will meet on the front terrace to see the little pixies glide in for an evening meal. They are truly one of the natural wonders of Arlington. For information, call 703-228-6535. Register online or call 703-228-4747. That's activity number 622951-H, and that one's on Friday, February 5th, from 6:30 to 7 o'clock p.m. at Long Branch Nature Center at Glencarlin Park, 625 South Carlin Springs Road. This event is free and recommended for families with kids ages 4 and up. Now, after 3 outdoor events in a row, we thought we ought to end with something you can do online. Arlington's car-free diet is the easy, fun way to live either a car-free or a car-light lifestyle. You can join the car-free diet team for transportation trivia, fun, and giveaways. Learn how easy it is to leave your car at home. They'll provide local transportation updates, teach you how to safely ride public transit, bike, and walk to get around Arlington. They'll also explain how you can save money, improve your health, and help clean our environment. Throughout the Zoom meeting, they'll have some transportation trivia fun and giveaways with a trivia wheel. The event is free, but registration is required. Registrants will be emailed a Zoom meeting link before the event. You can register on the Arlington County website. That's on Monday, February 8th, from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. And in addition to adults, they'll allow participants as young as grade 7. Now it's time for 55 Plus News.
Howdy, and welcome to 55 Plus News. Our first announcement says, travel the far reaches of the globe with this stimulating trivia challenge. Connect with 55 Plus friends and meet new people along the way. Well, since this is a virtual event, your traveling will be of the imaginary kind, and since it's just for people aged 55 and up, you won't really meet any new people, but you'll probably have about as much fun as you can in this age of COVID. After all, the only really new people are babies, and they don't usually get around much. You can register online or call 703-228-4747. That's activity number 912601-7. That's on Thursday, February 4th from 11 o'clock a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Age 55 and up, and the cost is 55 plus membership required. Next up, we got something called Intergenerational Book Discussion. Now, this is a chance to interface, that's the new word for talking, with some high school students and appreciate the perspectives of another generation through an in-depth discussion of The Nickel Boys by Colson Whitehead. This book tells the story of an African-American boy who was unfairly sentenced to a juvenile reformatory school and the horrors that characterized his experience. Now, it might help to remember that The Nickel Boys is a novel, that is, a work of fiction, but it has a basis in a real-life archaeological project which was conducted at the Dozier School for Boys in Marianna, Florida. That dig produced evidence that during the 111-year history of that school, dozens of students had been tortured and mutilated before being buried in a secret graveyard. So be ready for a very serious discussion. You can register online or call 703-228-4747. That's activity number 912300-4. It's on Monday, February 8th from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. Age 55 and up. I guess that doesn't include the high school students. And the cost is 55 plus membership required. Well, it turns out that the Arlington Public Library has their very own 55 plus book club, and it's conducted once a month on Zoom, at least for the time being. This month's book is called Our Souls at Night, and it's by Kent Haroff. It's a novel about a lady named Addie Moore and a man named Lewis Waters, both of whom have been living alone in houses now empty of family. Their nights have been terribly lonely with no one to talk to. Now, in advanced age, they come together to wrestle with the events of their lives and their hopes for the imminent future. For the Zoom meeting information, register for the group's email list. You can get there by using a link on the library website under Events. The registrants will be sent the Zoom meeting information by email one day before the meeting. Now, this is a volunteer-run group. The library will not distribute login information to the group on Zoom. The volunteer who leads the group will email a link to the Zoom meeting. That's on Friday, February 5th from 12 noon to 1 o'clock p.m. And since this is a library event, there's no activity number or membership requirement. You just need to register. Finally, in 55 plus news, financial tools in retirement, annuities. Now, what is an annuity? Well, according to the Oxford Dictionary, an annuity is a fixed sum of money paid to someone each year, typically for the rest of their life. Now, Webster's Dictionary is a little less optimistic. It just says an annuity is a sum of money payable yearly or at other regular intervals. Nothing about for how long, you notice. Anyway, you can learn more about annuities as a potential financial strategy. They can help you to grow or protect your retirement savings or provide you with guaranteed income in retirement. Scott James, a certified financial planner with 35 years of experience, will explain the different types of annuities, how the fees can significantly impact your returns, and how to decide if an annuity is a good fit for you. You can register online or call 703-228-4747, and that's activity number 912-404-11. And that's on Tuesday, February 9th from 1:30 to 2:30 p.m. It's for ages 55 and up, and the cost is 55 plus membership required. Anyway, that's all I got for 55 plus news. I guess we'll have to sit through some commentary now.
The news we've already reported seems to call for some additional COVID and vaccine analysis. The first question is, how many doses and how long will it take? With 2,700 vaccine doses per week, at least for the time being, and each person needing 2 doses for full protection, that's 1,350 people per week. Arlingtonians over the age of 16 qualify for the Moderna, but they must be over 18 for the Pfizer vaccine. Arlington has 197,000 residents over the age of 18. At that rate, it will take about 146 weeks, or 2 years and 9 months, for all the eligible people to obtain full protection. By that time, hopefully all the 16-year-olds will be 18-year-olds, but these numbers are already approximate. The next question is, who? Demographic data for Virginia is easy enough to come by, but the perspective is limited. By age, we can see that the highest case numbers are for people between the ages of 20 and 40, but that over 50,000 cases were younger people, many of whom would not have qualified for either vaccine. Considering by race, we can see that people identified as black made up 78,860 cases, while people identified as white made up 188,392 cases. But there were another 109,271 people for whom race data was not gathered. Considering by gender, females outnumbered males, 245,000 to 226,000. And what about occupation? We don't have data for that. People in the early group include healthcare workers, law enforcement, fire and hazmat people, among others, but the list does not include grocery store workers. A typical Arlingtonian might deal with law enforcement once or twice a year, but they are likely to shop for food far more frequently. There's so much that we still don't know. The only thing we can surmise is that each week, when another 100-plus COVID cases have accumulated in Arlington, whether the rate of increase has gone up or down, someone has been doing something wrong. And that concludes this week's show. We will be back next week with more news from Arlington. Meanwhile, be careful, be safe, and be well.
Told you to be careful and do everything you should. You told me not to nag, that you were doing pretty good. And every time I tried to even have my say, all you ever said was let me do it my way. Well, whatever you did, it wasn't enough. So now you got the virus and I say that's tough. It ain't that I got no sympathy, but I just hope you don't give it to me. Now there ain't no use in taking offense when someone's just talking about simple common sense. You say you had a dinner, a party or a show. Well, there wasn't no requirement, you didn't have to go. Well, whatever you did, it wasn't enough. So now you got the virus and I say that's tough. It ain't that I got no sympathy, but I just hope you don't give it to me. When I said stay home, you said you wanted to roam. You said I didn't know what I was missing. And you were young and life was all about fun and going out a-hugging and a-kissing. Now you could have been working to help somebody. It would have been a good enough excuse. But you didn't do nothing to help nobody, and now it ain't no use. Well, whatever you did, it wasn't enough. So now you got the virus and I say that's tough. It ain't that I got no sympathy, but I just hope you don't give it to me.